Let me get this straight. The current administration might bring criminal charges against Chairman Powell. First, let's hear what Chairman Powell had to say about this.
Department of Justice served the Federal Reserve with grand jury subpoenas, threatening a criminal indictment related to my testimony before the Senate Banking Committee last June.
This tension arose from rising costs with the Fed's renovation of the Eccles Building and Constitutional Avenue Building. The reason this project's going over budget is because of tight supply chains back in 2021, 2022, along with labor shortages in the construction industry. And these buildings were built nearly 100 years ago, so workers uncovered asbestos as long as having some water-related issues in the ground that had to reshape the foundation of the buildings. The Fed has always been independent, so they can balance their dual mandate between full employment and keeping inflation down. They strive to shield interest rate decisions from election cycles and short-term political pressures, so that other countries and companies aren't afraid to invest in the United States. Now, we've seen what happens when the Fed loses a little bit of its independence. Back in the early 70s, when Richard Nixon was running for re-election in 1972, he pressured his Fed chair to keep interest rates low so that he can win his election. And that led to runaway inflation. Even a unique phenomenon called stagflation that plagued the 70s that had to be reconciled with 20% interest rates in 1979 through the 80s. The Fed bows to any administration that leads to sharply cutting interest rates. That'll result in higher inflation and over time higher borrowing costs for things like cars, loans, or mortgages. Let me know below. What do you think about the executive branch trying to erode the independence of the Federal Reserve?